So thank you guys for tuning in today. So we're gonna be talking about, the motorcycles, Ducati's brand. We're gonna be talking about the training, safety gear, responsibility of owning a motorcycle. And I would like to thank the cooperation with B1 Moto in Houston, Texas, that allows me to create this content. And all these contents are gonna be about taking care of the motorcycle, driving a motorcycle safety, why you should wear all the safety gear. We're gonna be talking on these series videos about, which kind of motorcycle you should buy first if you are a first-time rider. Besides that, we chart the specs of the motorcycle. Ducatis are very powerful motorcycles, so we should know more about these kind of bikes, so that way we can take a decision which is the better to buy if you are willing to buy a Ducati brand motorcycle. So thank you for tuning in. I hope that you guys can support and enjoy all of that. So we will also be showing how to take care of the motorcycle, how to clean the chain, how to maybe wash the motorcycle, and a couple more stuff that can be good for you to know before you get into the motorcycle if you are a first rider. That way you can learn a little bit more about your motorcycle. So thank you for tuning in. So we're going to start showing a couple things which are going to be the best safety gear that you can wear whenever you're riding a motorcycle. Before you get into the motorcycle thing and the training and a couple more stuff that should know, techniques that you should know before you get into the motorcycle. Remember that it doesn't matter the brand of the motorcycle that you're going to be riding on, but you need to know the basics on the motorcycles driving before you jump onto the freeway or the street driving this kind of motorcycle. So we're going to start explaining a couple stuff about how to brake properly, how to lean properly the bike, how to position your body properly, and how not to get scared when you see cars around you, the truck, because owning and driving a motorcycle can be a little bit more dangerous than you think, but at the same time could be as safe as it could be if you know the basics of driving the motorcycle properly. One of the things that you should be responsible for is to take some courses, training that right here in B1 Moto. They used to go to the Austin track every 2 to 3 months, a couple times in a year, so that way you can take advantage of the experts that are teaching you how to ride a motorcycle properly, especially in a sport bike. But that doesn't mean that you can take any bike to the track to train a little bit about leaning the bike, stopping the bike, positioning your body, which is the best speed depending on the street, the freeway, the highway that you are on. So keep in mind that if you're gonna buy the motorcycle, or if you are a motorcycle rider right now and you haven't taken one of these courses for riding the motorcycle, you should consider taking one. And sometimes right here in B1 Moto do this type of training, conversations about the tires, which is the best maintenance that you can do, how to maintenance the bike, how to ride the bike properly, and all that kind of things that can save your life upside. So keep in mind that owning the motorcycle is a little bit more than just driving high speed on the freeway. You should keep in mind that training and practicing is one of the best things to ride a motorcycle. Remember that it is completely your responsibility, because it's not about the people driving outside. It is on your end to get back home safe. So on the Ducati's motorcycles, there is a myth that they are very expensive, and actually some of them they are. But at the end of the day, you should buy the motorcycle that can fit to your budget, or you should buy the motorcycle that you like the most, depending on the budget you have. So you can go and get a motorcycle or not, because remember that it doesn't matter the brand, you always are going to spend a good amount of money on motorcycle accessories like helmet, gloves, jacket, pants, any riding protection that you can wear whenever you go to ride a motorcycle. Now, there are a couple motorcycles that are good and they are cheap. if you can say, of the Ducati brands. Especially if you are a first rider, you're not gonna jump on the B4S motorcycle, or you're not gonna jump on the V2 or a very heavy motorcycle and a very fast motorcycle. So the B4S, the B2, or the Multistrada, those are very heavy and very fast motorcycles. So you should think, well, if I want a Ducati and I don't want to spend that much money, which motorcycle is the best? So behind me, I have a group of different models of scramblers Ducati. So I own one, and it's been amazing riding every time. It's lightweight. It is, considerably, fast. It's not that fast as, the B4, the B2, but you can get one of these motorcycles to learn how to drive a motorcycle, or if you want to give an upgrade to your motorcycle. So that keep in mind that Ducatis are very powerful and fast motorcycles. If you are a first-time rider, you should get a motorcycle lighting weight, not that fast, because you should learn first how to control the bike and all that kind of stuff on the street. And be aware that it doesn't matter if it's a Ducati, Yamaha, or any other, you're gonna spend a lot of money in riding protection, and you should, because every time you spend like $1,000, that's kind of no money for what could happen if you are riding a motorcycle without helmet or any riding gear protection and you get into an accident. I see myself on the streets or on the freeway, people driving over speeding and without a helmet or any riding protection or any riding gear that can protect them, from an accident. So I think that's a little bit irresponsible. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't recommend that anytime. So what I'm doing right here is to recommend you, if you are a first-time driver. If you are an experienced driver, I'm strongly the same way. Recommend that the safety gear is always, necessary before you go on the street. As a Ducati owner, right here in Houston with the B1 Moto dealership, we have created a great community. Every Thursday night we go for a ride, we stop in a coffee shop, and then we go to a restaurant to hang out a little bit with the different motorcycle fellas. And one of the things that is very important is that everyone is driving carefully, everyone is riding safely, everyone is wearing safety gear all the time. That's one of the saying that we have right here. So it's not the dealership, it's not the Ducati brand, it's not the expensive of the some motorcycles. It is about the group and the community that we have created. And actually they have created before, because I got my motorcycle 2 years ago. So these people right here in Houston, they have a great community. So if you're thinking of getting a motorcycle, and if you like the Ducati brand, you should think about getting to this group right away. Whenever you get the motorcycle, you're gonna jump into the group every Thursday night. Sometimes we go. They plan, road trips out of Texas, weekend trips, or every time that we have the MotoGP right here in Austin, Texas, we plan as a group to go together. One of the things about owning a motorcycle should be riding with a responsible and good group. That's very important. It doesn't matter the brand that you're driving. It's very important that you join a very responsible and careful and safe group. People that are experienced and they can teach you a couple things, and that you're not gonna be riding and pursuing them when you go out on the street or on the mountains. Some of the accidents that happen the most, it is because someone that is not that much experienced driving a motorcycle, they go to these road trips, and then this person is trying to pursue the experienced drivers. Be complicated and a huge problem, because if you're not experienced in leaning the bike on the turns or breaking the bike down, you're gonna have a huge trouble whenever you hit a very sharp turn and you don't know how to control the bike. So I suggest to watch videos like this, or any other videos from people that Moto Jitsu, for example, riding like the pro. I mean, I'm not sponsoring and I'm not receiving any money from those guys, but I watch them myself. I follow them myself because they have really good training topics and those kind of basic things that you should know before you ride a motorcycle. So keep that in mind. So we have to talk about the fundamentals of riding safely, the training, the practice, which motorcycle you should go for the lightweight and not that fast, a motorcycle that you can control with your own legs and you're not tiptoe on the stoplight. So let's start with the type of gloves, because you should be asking yourself, well, I mean, which glove should I use? So we have 3 right here. You don't have to jump into. I have these gloves right here, so they have a knuckle protection, your fingers protection. They are, very comfortable. They have all the long way back, so they can protect your hands and all that kind of stuff. So that's depending. They're gonna go from price to price. You can find 100, 200, 300 gloves on any store that you go, Cycle Gear, a Ducati store or whatever. So one of the things that you should understand is, remember, whenever you're gonna fall off the bike, and that may happen someday, is that one of the first things that you're gonna do by instinct is putting your hands to protect your body or your head or whatever. So if your hands are very well protected, you're gonna reduce the damage. I'm not saying that nothing 100% is gonna happen, but you can reduce the damage if you fall off the motorcycle. If you get to the ground or anything, remember that if you haven't seen those kind of videos from MotoGP, these guys, whenever they fly off the bike, one of the things that they do is slide all the way with their butt or her hands, their hands actually. So sorry about that. But anyways, so remember, I don't like those kind of gloves that they are like a shortcut right here, because I like protecting all my hand all the way to the top. Okay. So the second, we have another pair of gloves. Remember that we are here on the Ducati store, so basically all the examples that I have are Ducatis. So remember the knuckles protection, the wrist protection. They have protection all the way on the wrist, so it's very important, because remember that whenever you hit the ground, you can twist your grease, and now we have a problem. So remember that we can have one of these knuckle protections and the fingers protection right here, as you can see. So these are the pair of gloves that we can suggest to you. So last but not less, the Alpine, I don't know, some people call them Alpine, I don't know. But as you can see, these are pretty much racing gloves. As you see, you can notice right here, they have a really hard wrist protection, and the knuckle protection is a little bit stronger. The foam of the gloves and the fingers and everything is a little bit stronger. They are a little bit more comfortable. So they have hard plastic right here. So that way, whenever if you fall off the bike, and if you put your hands, you can be, pretty sure that at least your fingers and your wrist is gonna be really good protected. So, I mean, this is what I recommend before we go to the street or to the highways to ride a motorcycle. Remember that the safety gear is, and I can't stop repeating that, because I've seen so many people crashing their bikes and getting hurt for things that they could have avoided if they had really good safety gear. So remember, safety gear all the time. Now we have the riding jacket. So I have one right here. Okay, so some of the jackets, they have protection on your shoulders. They have your elbow protection right here. You cannot feel it, but if you know, go to any motorcycle store, you'll see that they have the elbow for this part protection right here. So that way, if you fell off the bike and you put your elbow on the floor, on the ground, I mean, you're gonna protect that part. So this jacket is an air for summer jackets most of the time, because remember, when you're riding on the summer, I mean, the heat of the bike and the sun is gonna be hitting you while you are riding. So it is an air jacket. It has like small holes right here and on this part right here and all the way in the back. So we have a different type of jackets. Obviously, they change the price depending on the type of jacket that you have. So now we have a different jacket. This is the most expensive one. You don't have to get this one, but this one had really hard plastic right here. It is a really good protection that they have. And they have the shoulder protection, really hard plastic right here. The elbow protection is, let me put it on this side, is kind of the MotoGP riders jacket. So it has this, you know, upper back protection right here. So whenever if you go, you know, if you're riding the bike and if you go fast and for some reason you get into an accident and you know, you turn your body and you fall off the bike and you hit the ground with your back, it's very important to have, you know, you can see it here better, to have the protection. So one of the other things that I love the most, and I think most of the fellas riders out there, they're gonna agree with me, is helmets. So again, you don't have to spend $1,000 or $2,000 in a helmet, but I strongly suggest that you use a helmet that is recognized by their, you know, quality and design and stuff like that. So you don't have to buy the ones that MotoGP riders do, but I will just do a review and recommend, you know, the full face helmet. So I think this one is one of the most beautiful helmets that Ducati has. So if you can see the design right here, so they are DOT helmets, okay? So they are very comfortable inside of the helmet right here. So this is what I recommend, full face helmet. So we have a bunch of different types and brands of helmets out there. Bell, Arai, Shoei, ABG, Sina. So you should buy the one that fits to your budget, but please always remember that driving the motorcycle, safety is the best thing that you can do. So don't forget riding your gloves, your jacket, and your full face helmet right here. So now that we have talked about the motorcycles, the training, the practice, which motorcycle you should use before you go and buy a motorcycle, a lightweight motorcycle, not that fast motorcycle, something that you can control, you can position your feet on the ground. So at the end of the video, we're going to show you some motorcycles, the sound. We're going to turn on some motorcycles, and I'm going to show you the Ducati Scrambler, which I own one, and I can tell you that it is one of the best motorcycles to drive in the first place if you are a first rider. If you're not, if you're an experienced motorcycle, a little bit experienced like me, so you can drive this Ducati Scrambler really, really good. They are very comfortable, they have a good leaning, and one of the things that I personally love about the Ducati motorcycles is the braking power that they have. It is amazing how the Ducati have, you know, has developed this technology to make the motorcycle break down for me perfectly. So you don't need to hit the front brake or the rear brake. Whenever you release the throttle and you you know, have a really good distance from the obstacle in front of you, it could be the car, the truck, or a stoplight, whatever it is. So the braking power is amazing. I mean, I love that. I've ridden a couple more motorcycles, and I can tell you that the braking power of the Ducati motorcycles are really good. The suspension is really good. On the Ducati Scrambler, the one that I own, is very good. The suspension goes down smoothly and straight whenever you hit the brake, the front brake and the rear brake. So that way the motorcycle is not going to go on the stoppy or the wheelie. So for me, the Ducati Scrambler for the beginners, or if you have an experienced motorcycle, and let's say that you don't like the sporty motorcycle that much due to the position that you go, or you don't like the very heavy motorcycles like the Ducati Multistrada or the BMW GS 1200 or those kind of adventure motorcycles. One of the things that you can ride is the Ducati Scrambler. So let me show you right here. You can see on my background the Ducati Scramblers that they have, or any other Ducati dealership for sure they have. So so you can consider, looking at these motorcycles and see. Maybe you don't want the model or the shape of the Scrambler, and you can get another one, Cafe Racer, which I love, or any naked bike. I just wanted to give you an idea of which is the best for you if you don't like heavy motorcycles or really fast motorcycles or sport motorcycles. Thank you for tuning in, and I see you in the next video.
I have to